Hey guys, well, one second. Much better. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It has been a pretty long time, I think 3 years if I'm not mistaken, since I've done any sort of real content around music. And even then it was never long form content, it was always short form content. Kawak Achuin, I've been making TikToks for about 4 to 5 years. Not consistently, but that's life gets in the way, if you know what I mean. Around 7 months ago, I graduated from college in America, Baltimore specifically. Go Hounds. I'm now in France doing a master's degree, and I thought to myself, why not get back into content creating? Especially because I had a lot of fun doing it. Now, it was fun and it did get to a point where it wasn't, but that's a completely different story. But now I want to do it again, so why not? For this video, I actually just want to make a beat because it has been some time since I've actually made anything and I want to get back into the flow of things. So stick around to the end so you can hear the final result, and like, subscribe, share with your friends, all of those YouTuber things. I haven't done this a lot, so I'll get used to that. That still feels kind of weird, but let's get into it. So I f***ed up. And here's how it happened. So when you're recording your computer screen, you have to have a certain software that allows you to record the audio coming from the computer while at the same time allowing you to listen to the audio. And I downloaded that. I'm not that stupid. But where I messed up was I was also supposed to map the output of my audio editing software, my DAW. It's where I make beats in. I was supposed to map the output of that into the recording software, and I didn't do that. So I basically have 2 hours of completely silent screen recording, and that was when I was actually making the beat. My camera was on, I had my microphone connected, so I managed to get moments like this. Let's raise it. It's giving me D. The sound is in D, so I'm gonna try and raise it up by 1. Let's go. Yeah. God, I can't sing. Sorry. Again, not used to the wireless mic. Wow, I am really out of practice. But if you switch over to the computer side of things, you get this. Absolutely riveting material. But I'm garamino. So here's my fix to the problem. I'm gonna show you my beat and I'm gonna break down what sounds I used, how I came up with the ideas, what inspired me, Genius style basically. If you don't know what that is, there is a website / YouTube page called Genius, and sometimes they'll bring in producers of pretty famous songs to do these beat breakdowns. And Diam, I think for some time there were Ethiopian producers doing that on their own channel, so something like that. So now let's actually get into it. Okay, so we have the beat on the screen right now, and this entire thing started because I had heard a song on TikTok and thought, wow, this is really good. It's gonna be on the screen right now. You should actually go listen to it. But I had heard the song, and what really stood out to me was some of the vocal phrasings that she used and the actual vocal performance. So this is what I ended up taking from the song. I'm not gonna play it on the channel but this is what I ended up taking from the song. So we have this phrase, it's the same phrase, but I pitched one differently than the other and I panned them so you get this really nice stereo image, and this is what that sounds like. And then we have this little phrase. And then we have this very passionate vocal performance. I also pitched it differently and used it later on in the beat as this. So yeah, that's that. I added my own vocal phrase from a Cymatics pack I got years ago. Shout out Cymatics. If you know anything about bedroom producers, then they're actually the goats. So the beat itself is 146 BPM and is in the key of E minor, so all of these check out. Okay, then we end up moving on to the chords, and this is what I ended up playing. I used an electric piano because I was going for something a lot more smooth and mellow, something more emotion-inducing. Well, everything is emotion-inducing.
Stupid.
But yeah, I ended up going with that sound, and it's a very simple chord progression because that's kind of just how I was feeling at the time. So I ended up layering that with a different synth that's a little brighter for some extra texture. Sounding very ethereal. And then I ended up adding this synth lead. Sounding wavy. And then I took that second sound and I filtered it a little bit because I wanted some variation for the verse section of the beat. So let's get to the drum section. When I first started working on this, I didn't necessarily know what direction I wanted to be pulled in. I wanted to first flesh out the sample, see what that would sound like, and then decide what kind of genre I wanted to do. And I ultimately thought sexy drill. If you don't know what sexy drill is, think Cash Cobain and that really famous Jordan Adetunji song, Kehlani. I like the way your body is that too? That song, that's sexy drill. So for that, I started with these hi-hats. They're very light. It's a very simple rhythm. I pitched them up so that they'd be in key with the song and so that they didn't sound as harsh. Then I added this perk for some extra color. So for my snare, I wanted to go for something a little lighter, not as, smack in your face. So I ended up going with this. And I layered the second rim with a triangle for some, a little high end. That's all the percussion. Let's get to the bass now. Basses, it's plural. I decided to go for something smooth, and this is also from a Cymatics pack. Shout out them. You'll hear me say that a lot throughout this entire channel, if I'm being honest. And this is what that sounds like. Simple, just playing the root notes. And for my second bass, I ended up going with this one from a producer that I think I got this, I just searched up sexy drill packs and I ended up getting this and I found this 808. And the reason I like it so much is because it's very similar to the 808 from the song Attitude by Don Toliver and Cash Cobain. Listen to that, it's also a banger. For my third and final bass, I have this kick pattern going because it's I don't know if it's a Spims or a Zay, I don't really remember, but it lines up with the kick and I wanted to add a little more rhythm with the bass, and this is what that sounds like. And then finally, we have the Cash Cobain stomps. It is not a sexy drill song if you do not have those stomps, and this just ends the phrase. Oh, one more thing. We have this little Vox sample. What? Because they'll play it in songs, and I thought, it goes with the song, so why not? Okay, so then we have our risers and impacts, and those are basically sound effects that you would put in to help with tension and release. They're the things that you put right before the drop and after the drop. That's the best way I know how to describe it. This is what they sound like. What? Along with the other drums. So the reason I'm not talking about these two tracks down here is because I wanted to see if my beat was suitable for a rapper. And as I was making it, the song that came into my head was Central C's Ungrateful. I don't want to seem ungrateful, good. And I wanted to see if the acapella of that would go with this beat. It did. I'm not going to play that because... But yeah, let's listen to the full beat together. And all things considered, it's been about 8 months, if I'm not mistaken, since I've made a beat. And I thought this came out pretty good. Let me know what you think. Very smooth and chill. Drums come in, nice. Well, kicks come in. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching the video. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that I said earlier. And stay tuned for the next video. Peace.